We should, before we go any further, talk a little bit about the couple at the heart of the show, and that's the Taylors. It's important to understand the cast of the show and how they again, how they derive from the source material but are fundamentally different. So the Taylors are the main characters of the show. So they are Coach Eric Taylor. He's the obviously the head coach of the football team. The show starts with him taking over the Dillon Panthers. It's not, I don't even know who he's replacing. Like but he's the new coach, in part because he has this relationship with the team's star quarterback, Jason Street, who he's coached like through his, I don't know, middle school times. I'm not exactly sure, but he has this long-standing relationship with the star quarterback. So he becomes the head coach in season one.
How you doing, Coach? Tommy Haskins,
Tommy.
NBC Sports.
Welcome.
How's it feel to be head coach after what? How many years?
6 years it is.
Got yourself a heck of a quarterback.
He's a good boy. Very proud of him.
Now, you two have been at this together for some time, right?
Yes, sir. He was my coach all through Pee Wee, and Coach Taylor's been QB coaching me since freshman and JV year, so it's been a while.
So, Coach, is it a coincidence you finally get the head coaching job the final season of Jason's high school career?
It is. It's a very fortunate coincidence. You got to feel blessed to spend your first year with a young man who's got the talent, the moral strength this young man right here has.
That's Eric Taylor, played by Kyle Chandler, who would win an Emmy for this role. Also starred on the great show Early Edition, about a guy who got the newspaper a day early. Just what a great show. And right away, that's a pretty big change from the book and the movie, where the real coach, Gary Gaines, did not have any special relationship with any of the players. That's certainly not why he was hired, and it definitely doesn't characterize the relationship he had with the team's star, Boobie Miles, who, as we talked about in the previous 2 episodes in this series, was basically discarded and insulted by the coaching staff once, even before he got injured, but then especially after the injury. There's certainly no close emotional bond like we see between Jason Street and Eric Taylor. And then his wife, Tammy, is played by Connie Britton. And she didn't want to take this role because she plays the wife of Gary Gaines in the movie. And she's like, I had 3 scenes and all I'm doing is like clapping in the stands. And she says like, she told like Peter Berg, she's like, I want to do that for like 5 years. Like, I don't want, and he had to tell her, and it's like, no, this is going to be more, it's going to be more complicated. And in the pilot, she doesn't really get anything to do. She basically gives a speech that's sort of identical to one she gives in the movie about how they should move to Alaska because nobody plays high school football in Alaska and it's less pressure. But they actually do develop this character. And more importantly, they develop the marriage, right? So the Eric Tami relationship is, as James says, like referred to as the heart of the show. They're like this, it's this very mature, serious depiction of like a happily married couple that has conflicts, but they're not, someone's having an affair, someone has a secret like child that they never told the spouse about. Like, it's not the soap opera stuff. It's just very normal married stuff. Kyle Chandler and Connie Britton have this great chemistry, and the scenes with them really do feel like a loving marriage, but one that they have to take out the trash and get groceries and deal with errands and deal with their kids and stuff. And that is like the essence of the show in some ways.
Yeah, and it's never like they're on the verge of divorce, or like the most dramatic thing is like they have another baby.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And there is like an episode where like someone, I think this is in season 2 when like crazy shit happens, but like Tammy she doesn't have an affair, but like a guy hits on her or like tries to kiss her. And she tells her husband about it, and they like laugh about it because like they know it's ridiculous. Like, he's not threatened by that. Like, like it's not done with this way of like, how dare you? Like she didn't consent to the kiss. He just like did it while he was drunk. I don't remember the exact storyline, but like the idea is that like this relationship is like, even when they are fighting, their relationship is not like under threat. And I think that felt very realistic to people in a way that was like very rarely depicted on television. But one thing I should say about, we talked when we discussed the movie about how Gary Gaines, he's in the book, but he's not a huge part of the book. He's not like the main focus. The focus of the book is on the players and on the kids and on the school. Billy Bob Thornton is the star of the movie, but even as we talked about, his depiction of his relationship with the players is somewhat standoffish, and he's a little hard to read, and he's not, he's viewed as like one of many. But by making the Taylors like the stars of the show, they change it very fundamentally to the point where like Eric's role and Tammy's role is they end up being like the sort of surrogate father and son to everyone in the entire community of Dillon, Texas. It seems like because they are such a good like relation, they are such good like parents and such a good couple. Like they end up basically like just being the like moral center of the entire community in a way that Gary Gaines is not like that, and it sends this very, I would say, like paternalistic message. The book and the movie have this sort of hopeless view of this community, which is that like these problems are hard if not impossible to fix. Whereas the show's version is like these problems can be fixed if you have like a really nice guy or a really nice lady like in charge of these people's lives. I mean, it is like the degree to which this is true is he has a specific relationship with, like Eric Taylor has a lot of specific relationship with all the different players, but it is pretty ridiculous. So like when Matt Saracen played, one of the players on the team, when his father dies, the Taylors host the funeral. So when Tim Riggins is briefly homeless in season 2, the Taylors like take him in and host him, and he just lives with them for a few episodes. When Smash Williams, the running back, he loses a scholarship due to injury between seasons 2 and 3. And then like Coach Taylor just like on the side leads his rehab and helps him get another scholarship, right? So like not part of his job, just doing it. When Tyra, when her mother is in an abusive relationship, Tammy intervenes and she's like the guidance counselor for the school. So every time like a kid has a problem, she like steps in. I mean, it's very heartwarming, but it's like completely ridiculous. And it's like, it has this message that I think is part of what the affluent elites who we talked about, the tastemakers, the cultural trendsetters, loved about the show. The message is that like this solid, upstanding, middle-class suburban couple with a heart of gold can fix all of society's problems, right? We talked in the last episode about the movie presents like victims without victimizers. And the show goes like completely to the other end of that, which is it's just victims and saviors. The show has very few bad guys. It doesn't really present systems that are flawed. It just depicts people who have, for some reason, as we said, like maybe your dad is in Iraq, maybe your mom is sick, but you have a problem. It's no one's fault. But what you need is like the superhero Eric or Tami Taylor to come in and they'll save you, right? Through just being like good parents or whatever. And that's literally this plot. That's literally the solution to so many of the storylines. It's just like, you know what you need? You need to talk to Eric or Tami Taylor. Like that's what you need a good talking to from the Taylors. Like they'll save you. And it becomes like, it's heartwarming. It's sweet. I love the Taylors. I love Kyle Chandler. I love Connie Britton, but it's ridiculous. It's like they do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, literally maybe Landry, but like every other character, I think pretty literally has like a moment with one of the Taylors where they like, are explicitly like either thanking them or like desperately asking for some like absurd favor,
Like, very almost either literally or figuratively, like referring to them as a father or like a parental figure who has been missing in their lives.
Yeah, they're, so season 2, like heartbreakingly, we don't see it because of the writer's strike, but they lose early in the playoffs. The Panthers do, so seen as an unsuccessful season. So then in season 3, Smash is hurt, and Coach Taylor decides to like, first of all, Smash is like, not even interested in resuming his football career. He's like down on his luck and feeling bad. And of course, Coach Taylor gives him like a real hearty monologue to get him motivated to try to get back in the game. And then Smash starts training with Coach Taylor, and there's a scene where Smash is like, "Coach, I'm not your problem anymore. Like, why are you spending so much time like working me out and like helping me or whatever?" And Coach Taylor's like, "Because I need something good to happen." And if you just put in the time and like lend your heart to a down on his luck running back, then you can make something good happen, I guess, and get them to Texas A&M.
That isn't that where he ends up playing as Texas A&M?
Yeah. And so Vince, Michael B. Jordan's character, like literally says in the series finale to Coach Taylor, like, "You changed my life, Coach." And this is as East Dillon, the like underfunded program full of kids who had like seemingly never played football before, like they win the state championship all of a sudden.